Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. No matter where you are on your mental health journey, we want you to know that you deserve to be happy. Whether you're struggling with anxiety, depression, or any other mental health challenge, we see you, we hear you, and we believe in you. The next voice you will be hearing is that of our team at Medicare Hub Limited, who will be sharing their expertise, insights, and support to help you navigate your mental health journey and find happiness, regardless of your circumstances.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how much we love diving deep into the stuff that really matters. And today we're tackling something pretty huge.
Absolutely.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Specifically when it comes to mental health. You know, you guys shared this piece called You Deserve to Be Happy. And wow, did it ever hit home?
For sure.
I mean, it's all about, you know, how we can navigate all the mental health challenges that life throws at us.
Right.
And still remember that happiness. It's still out there.
It is.
It's possible.
Yeah, and it's something worth fighting for.
Totally. Something that really jumped out at me from this piece was this idea that happiness isn't necessarily about avoiding mental health challenges completely.
Yeah.
But more about finding ways to experience joy, even when things are tough.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point because we often think about happiness as this thing we achieve once everything else is sorted out. Like once our mental health is perfect, then we'll be happy.
It's like we're putting it off.
Yeah, right.
Like, okay, I'll be happy once I finally beat this anxiety or once I'm not dealing with depression anymore.
Exactly.
But that's not really how it works, is it?
No.
This piece is saying something totally different.
Yeah.
It's saying that you deserve to be happy no matter what your mental health situation is right now.
Regardless. Yeah.
Which I think is pretty powerful.
Absolutely.
Because it kind of goes against that whole idea that we need to be perfectly okay mentally to deserve happiness.
It really challenges that assumption.
You know, it reminds me of this conversation I had with a friend recently who is really struggling with their anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
And they were saying, I just feel like I'm such a burden to everyone. How can I even think about being happy when I feel this way?
Right.
And it breaks my heart.
It is tough.
Because those negative thought patterns are so common.
They are.
But the thing is, they don't have to define us.
Absolutely not.
We don't have to let those thoughts control our lives.
We have a choice.
Yeah, it's so important to acknowledge those feelings.
Yeah.
But like you said, we don't have to let them dictate whether or not we deserve to be happy. This piece really emphasizes that you deserve to be happy simply because you exist.
Yeah.
Because you have inherent value as a human being.
Just by being you.
Exactly.
You are worthy.
And that kind of leads us to this idea of asking for help.
Okay.
The piece talks about how reaching out for support is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Definitely.
Which I know can be a tough thing to do for some people.
It can be hard to admit that you need help.
Absolutely. But it's so important to remember that you don't have to go through this alone.
Not at all.
Whether it's friends, family, or a therapist, building that support system is key.
It gives you a safe space to process your emotions, get some perspective, maybe learn some coping mechanisms.
Right, and speaking of practical tips, the piece also dives into some of the things we can actually do to cultivate more happiness in our lives.
Okay.
Self-care is a big one.
For sure.
For me personally, things like taking a walk in nature or spending time with loved ones.
Yeah, that's what really helps me recharge.
I can see that.
What about you? What are some of the self-care practices that you find helpful?
You know, I've actually found that incorporating mindfulness into my daily routine has been
Interesting.
really transformative. Even just simple things like focusing on my breath or noticing the sensations in my body or even taking a mindful walk, you know? It helps me stay grounded and present even when things feel overwhelming.
I love that. The article also talks about the importance of challenging those negative thoughts.
Right.
Not just letting them run wild in our minds.
Because they can really take over.
They can. It suggests actively questioning those negative thought patterns.
Yeah, like really examining them. So for example, if you catch yourself thinking, I'm a complete failure, you can challenge that thought by looking for evidence.
Okay.
Is it really true? Are there areas in your life where you're actually succeeding? What are your strengths?
Right.
It's about reframing those thoughts, creating a more balanced, realistic perspective.
That makes so much sense. And speaking of connections, the piece also emphasizes the importance of building relationships and nurturing those connections.
Absolutely. We're social creatures,
We are.
We need that connection with others.
Yeah.
Having a strong support network, whether it's friends, family support groups,
Right.
it can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. Sharing your experiences and feeling understood,
Yes,
that can be so validating and empowering.
it really can.
Now, there's this whole concept of mindfulness that I'm really curious to explore further.
Okay.
It's about being present in the moment.
Right? Yeah, being aware of what's happening right now.
I've tried meditation a few times,
Uh-huh.
but I'd love to hear your thoughts on how we can actually cultivate more mindfulness in everyday life.
Well, mindfulness doesn't have to be formal meditation.
Okay.
It can be as simple as paying attention to your senses while you're eating,
Right.
noticing the feeling of your feet on the ground when you're walking, really listening to someone when they're talking without letting your mind wander.
Yeah.
It's just about bringing your awareness to the present moment without judgment.
I like that.
Yeah.
Something I've learned in my own journey is the importance of celebrating small wins,
Oh, absolutely.
especially when we're struggling.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get discouraged and overlook those small moments of progress.
But celebrating those small wins is so powerful.
It is.
It reminds us that we're capable of making progress even if it's gradual.
Right.
It could be as simple as acknowledging that you got out of bed today.
Yeah.
Or that you cooked a healthy meal.
Right.
Or reached out to a friend.
Those little things.
Yeah, those seemingly small acts of self-care and resilience, they're worth celebrating.
I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is that happiness is not a destination.
No.
It's a journey.
It's about the process, not perfection.
Exactly. It's about focusing on the steps we're taking, the resilience we're building,
Yeah.
and the moments of joy we experience along the way.
Even amidst the challenges.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So to anyone listening out there who might be struggling, remember this. You deserve to be happy exactly as you are. What's one small step you can take today to cultivate a bit more happiness in your life? Keep moving forward even when it's tough.
Keep going.
You are stronger than you think,
You are.
and happiness is possible.
It is.
Thanks for joining us,
It's been a pleasure.
and we'll see you next time.
See you then.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay happy always.